Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is going on? And good evening. Well, good morning if you're on the East Coast, that is. This is the Club with the Man 1993, and I'm here very late, but live for my NXT TakeOver 25 2019 live review. Of course, I do apologize. This video has come late. Again, I had to work yesterday, so I missed TakeOver. Got off work as soon as TakeOver ended. Again, it was like an hour drive home, and with rain, and then the backed up drive through at Burger King because I wanted to reward myself with a chicken parm sandwich because it tastes so good, guys. And then I was supposed to get up early for a softball game this morning, and then unfortunately it rained out, so I had to sleep in a little bit. Make me realize, rats, I could have stayed up a little bit later last night to watch TakeOver 25 at least to watch it and review it today. But then, of course, I had a couple other things come up that I did throughout the day. So that's why, of course, this review is coming a little bit late. But I am here, of course, live to talk about this show. I am almost, because I was scared of my thoughts, I'm almost done also watching TakeOver Respect, which I have just the main event that to watch. And I'll probably review that one tonight as well before I go to bed. But, of course, I'm here to talk about TakeOver 25 first, which took place on Saturday night, because it is Monday morning technically, June 1st, 2019, at the Webster Bank Arena in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I know I messed up in the previous saying it was something like Hartford, Connecticut. I was wrong. I apologize, but it was in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Let me tell you something, guys. So obviously at Double or Nothing for AEW, obviously trying to prove, as John Moxley said in his podcast, that Vince's way of creative sucks. So AEW right now is blowing WWE out of the water. However, the man that Cody Rhodes took a shot at with the sledgehammer smashing the throne, Triple H, this is how you respond with a show that obviously blew everything out of the water. I mean, yes, there was a couple little, botches here and there with Double or Nothing because, it's still a new product, but, it still was an amazing show to make a statement for them. This is how you fire back. This is how your brand, whether you are NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, TNA for crying out loud, but of course they have no chance. They're just about dead. This is how you fire back with your brand, showing that, hey, you want competition, we'll give you competition. Main roster, Raw, SmackDown, may not be giving any competition at all. But we are. And also, because I've been saying this for quite a while now, I wanted everyone to do another takeover, but it was also announced on this show that on August 31st, 2019, the same night as AEW's next pay-per-view, All Out, NXT UK is going to be having another takeover special. NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff, I believe it's called. So I hate to say it, but I'll definitely check out both shows, not at the same time. But I don't think NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff is going to be any match compared to AEW All Out, unfortunately. But there was announced that happened as well. But once again, TakeOver 25, just a spectacular show. I almost gave this grade the classic A+ grade. I was this close to giving it that grade. The reason why I didn't give it the next best grade, just a strong A, is because I don't want to spoil anything when I get to my TakeOver Respect review. Because something I've realized after watching these previous NXT takeovers, most of the ones I haven't seen yet, which again, TakeOver Respect is the last takeover I had never seen before. And so far, I think it's a pretty darn good show. What I really appreciate about NXT's pay-per-views is, besides, of course, pay-per-views that have been like NXT TakeOver, Brooklyn, or NXT TakeOver, TakeOver and a city's name. One just had another name to it, like NXT Arrival. Well, maybe except for like Fatal 4-Way, because, that was just because it was, one match, but it was just, just saying on the takeovers. But like, Our Evolution, Arrival, Rival, Unstoppable, Respect. Those play some type of like a theme to the entire show. So just, of course, I'm going to take over Respect right now. That is a show basing off respect for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, the respect for the women who are getting the opportunity to main event that show in the Iron Woman match and whatnot. Again, the theme is spread. Unstoppable again was a pay-per-view around the time where NXT was really catching fire, starting to go on tours, around the United States. Just again, whenever your product is on fire, and if you really want to, prove that this is for real, capitalize. And it was like TakeOver, Unstoppable did. And of course, there really isn't a theme for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, or it's the first show to be taking place outside of Full Sail University for for a pay-per-view or a bigger audience. But it plays into that. And I felt, although TakeOver 25 was a spectacular show, for being like an anniversary show, celebrating the 25th NXT pay-per-view. Well, here's the thing. I'm not sure if this is celebrating the 25th NXT pay-per-view or the 25th NXT TakeOver pay-per-view. Because again, NXT Arrival was not called NXT TakeOver Arrival. It was just called NXT Arrival. And the following one was called NXT TakeOver. So I'm not sure which anniversary they're celebrating there. So this is missing one thing. The one thing that I still wish this show would have had is Sasha and Bayley defending those women's tag titles. This would have been the perfect show for that to happen. And I do feel that was a missed opportunity. So it didn't. I mean, yes, we had an NXT. Well, we could say NXT alumnus, but he's not really an alumnus anymore, because he's back and going to make NXT quite gorgeous. Again, if you know what I mean, getting my little drift there. I feel like with this being an anniversary show, there could have been like one more little thing to play up to that theme. Other than that little nitpick, this show was amazing. Probably so far the best takeover of the year. I mean, Phoenix was not too bad, not the strongest. New York was pretty good. New York definitely put up a strong showing. This one, though, this takeover, though, so far is my takeover of 2019. And, again, besides the fact that they could have made one more little thing to play up into the theme, this is amazing. This is an amazing show. We have new tag team champions crowned. We have a new NXT champion crown. And also, we got a huge update, which is why I checked out the last couple minutes of the pre-show before I went live for this. Hey, Tyler, thanks for joining me live. And, of course, because at the end of the NXT TakeOver 25 pre-show, guess who made an appearance? Mr. Tommaso Ciampa returned. The first time we have seen him, well, besides TakeOver, we saw him at TakeOver New York when he came out to congratulate Johnny Gargano after winning the NXT Championship. But the first time we also haven't seen him also since the last of the last episode of the NXT tapings where Johnny Gargano turned on him after they lost in their semifinals match in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. So, of course, he provides us a little bit of an update. The fact that, of course, the thing to recognize here also, he was not wearing a neck brace. He has been cleared for in-ring action, but he has been cleared for non-in-ring action. So it looks like Tommaso Ciampa is going to be, showing up here and there, cutting some in-ring promos or something. I still wasn't quite sure, where they're going with him. I mean, he did come out to congratulate Johnny at the end of the show. TakeOver 25. I mean, TakeOver New York, not TakeOver 25. He, of course, we congratulate him because Johnny didn't win. But he kind of like put over and said, "Hey, that was Johnny's night." But basically, kind of saying, he's not doing what I would do, basically. So I'm not sure if he was completely healed there or if he's going to come back as a babyface. Not exactly sure. Again, I'm not sure if maybe the end of that feud was meant to kind of like have these two say, okay, fine, you win. Make up and just move on with their lives, whatnot, as a team anymore, but just make up for the fact that the two put on just an unbelievable 2-year story, of course. But so yeah, just an update there on that. Tommaso Ciampa is able to do some non in-ring work and probably be around a little bit more. And who knows, at the rate he's looking, like again, he didn't have a neck brace on or anything. He could be back in action by the end of the year. Like, a lot of people thought he would be out for a whole year, which would be probably around next year's WrestleMania. He could be back beforehand. Maybe back before the Rumble. Maybe he'll make a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble. Well, then again, starting to really feel, would you really want Tommaso Ciampa go to the main roster now? Or any of these guys go to the main roster at this point with how things are going? with the main roster. Again, I've heard of even superstars in NXT who want to go to AEW. Probably, once they do their thing at NXT, instead of going, hey, my main roster call-up is not WWE, it's AEW. And if that's the case, by all means, go for it. Because obviously, if you go to the main roster, you'll get treated like crap. Look at EC3. Again, in the Jon Moxley podcast, when the week after it was revealed that Ambrose was not going to be coming back, and he started that little mini feud with him and EC3, he said Ambrose was not supposed to turn face. He was supposed to be the heel in that feud with EC3. So they had they basically had to do that, but the problem is when you just have like someone who's been respected for all these years come out and basically try to put over your new NXT talent, trying to push as a babyface, and the crowd basically turned on EC3 because of that. Again, not EC3's fault. It's just just the situation going on here. But so I mentioned it there. Do the worst face and heel turns. Again, I'm not doing face turns because I'm sorry. I said I would do the worst. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure when I'll. It's probably sometime this week. We'll see, Tyler. But I'll do them whenever I get the chance. But of course, again, I just want to say, we really want to see any of these guys on any roster at this point. But yeah, we'll get an update on Tommaso Ciampa. But let's talk about this show now, because I want to finish TakeOver Respect and do that review on this channel as well tonight before I go to bed. And also, I do have my next part of my Harry Potter Let's Play ready to be uploaded too, so I'll probably get that uploaded before I go to bed as well. I just need to make sure it came out good. But anyways, the opening match we have from this show, I thought it was going to be the tag title match. But we said we got the only non-title match of the show, and that was Matt Riddle taking on Undisputed Era's Roderick Strong. Let me tell you something I noticed after watching this match. Yes, Roderick Strong's run with the Undisputed Era this past year has been great. It's given him something fresh to do. I mean, I still don't know whether or not this was the plan all along, if Bobby Fish didn't get hurt or not, but his run as Undisputed Era has been amazing. However, though, I do feel like it's kind of, taken away a little bit from him showcasing his own, his own skills. I'm not saying he doesn't do what he does in the ring, but I feel like, he's being viewed as, Undisputed Era as Roderick Strong, but before he was that, he was something else amazing also. The last really great run he really had right before he joined the Era was when he was in the Cruiserweight Championship tournament last year, and he put on a really great run. He had matches with Hideo Itami, with Kalisto, and Cedric Alexander, put on some phenomenal matches. Needless to say, he was kind of teasing a little bit of an edge in those matches for sure. He didn't seem like he was a full-on babyface. But this match has really reminded us what Roderick Strong can do as a single star. Because, I mean, his last match before he became part of the Undisputed Era was, of course, that he turned heel and joined the Era, which is when he tag teamed with Pete Dunne. But the last time I think Roderick Strong has had a singles match on pay-per-view, I gotta go all the way back to NXT TakeOver Chicago 1. When he had that match with Eric Young. It was a pretty good match for sure, but this is a much more, continued improved Roderick Strong, because I put Roderick Strong over as my most improved wrestler of 2017. I mean, on the indies and ROH and whatnot, I'm sure he was amazing, but of course, 2017 was he was one of those stars that just gradually built on a smooth, steady level in 2017, and I gave him the credit for that. Again, his feuds with Eric Young was good. He did feud with Andrade Cien Almas to take over San Antonio, which wasn't bad, but we still didn't quite really know who Roderick Strong is. And of course, he had the feud with Bobby Roode as well. He had a great NXT Championship match on live TV against Drew McIntyre in the fall of 2017. And of course, he was in the War Games match. But again, this was just a reminder of what he could do. And this was, I thought this could be a good match. This was an amazing match between him and Matt Riddle. Hard hitting. Just both these guys, hard hitting. Roderick Strong going after the back of Matt Riddle throughout this entire match, trying to take out, the bread and butter of Matt Riddle, which is obviously having to position the back to be able to put in the bro mission. And there were times it looked like I don't think Roddy hit the end of Heartache in this match. I don't think I haven't seen him hit that, I think, since he joined the Undisputed Era. I don't think I've seen him hit the end of Heartache. Which I think the last time he did was actually when he turned on Pete Dunne, I think. But he like had some vicious shots. Like one of my favorite spots was when he had like Matt Riddle like hanging on the ropes. He did all those elbows to the face, and Matt Riddle still kicked out. Like there was some like big power moves Roderick Strong did that I didn't know he was quite capable. Because I mean, Matt Riddle, he's a little more bigger than Roderick Strong. Like, Roderick Strong is still probably like what 5'10", 200 pounds. Like, yeah, he's a decent looking size, but he's not the biggest guy out there. Or Matt Riddle is always a bigger man. But hard hitting, the knees, the elbow strikes. And again, this Roderick Strong does a great job working the back of Matt Riddle. Obviously, because he knew he had to get himself to a comfortable position to hit that bro mission. Towards the end of the match, whenever Riddle did have the bro mission on Strong, he wasn't able to get on Strong at all, no pun intended, because of his back. So then he turned it around, and then he would win by hitting some type of like a he had like a tombstone, but it was like like a spine busting move or something that he did, planting Strong into the mat, and Matt Riddle picked up the victory as I predicted he would do. So I mean, I could have seen this match going either way. I mean, especially with this whole idea of the Undisputed Era kind of being on edge, which now I kind of wonder where it's going now based off of the results of the main event and all the other matches, but. Just the win to get Matt Riddle back on track. Obviously, at this point, Matt Riddle is probably going to have to do the NXT Championship next. I don't know if he would get a rematch with Velveteen Dream for a North American title, but with him still currently feuding with the Undisputed Era and the results of the main event, I think Riddle's going after the NXT Championship next. Just my thought, honestly. But I think we're probably going to be seeing Matt Riddle and Adam Cole for the NXT Championship at TakeOver Toronto. I think, because it sounds like Johnny Gargano is dealing with the knee injury. He's going to take some time off from the rumors I'm hearing. But we'll talk about that main event when we get to it. But amazing opener. I knew it was going to be a good match, but I think it exceeded expectations again. It did remind me, how good as a single star Roderick Strong can be for sure. As this is the first time in quite a while we've been able to see him showcase himself as a single star for sure, which again shows that he's definitely one of the best talents around as well for sure. But yeah, so we have that to open up. The next match, easily, by far, as of this day, June 2nd, 2019, of course, 5 years after the 5-year anniversary of Seth Rollins cracking the Shield. Of course, we remember that Raw. I still don't forget my reaction. We did that. But anyways, the second match, again, as of today, is my tag team match of the year for WWE and NXT, of course. This fatal 4-way ladder match for the vacated NXT tag titles. We had Undisputed Era's Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. The Forgotten Sons, Wesley Blake, and Steve Cutler. The Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, taking on Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, the Brit Arm Brawlers. Let me tell you something. The very few times we've seen ladder matches in NXT, whether we saw the match at NXT Arrival with Neville and Adrian Neville and Bo Dallas. To the very underrated main event between Kevin Owens and Finn Balor at TakeOver Brooklyn 1. To last year's 6-man ladder match at TakeOver New Orleans between Adam Cole, Ricochet, EC3, Velveteen Dream, Lars Sullivan, and Killian Dane. Now to this one. With superstars like, the Street Profits, who this was their first TakeOver. The Street Profits have never had a TakeOver match. I believe they've been a tag team for like 2 years now. I think around War Games in 2017, I think they were first introduced as a tag team. Because I know Dawkins has been in for some time, but this is, of course, before he was a single star before he joined up with Montez Ford for the Street Profits. And it was taking them forever to get that tag title opportunity that they had deserved. Since I really thought they were going to get it sometime last summer, but 1 year later they finally get it. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, who's kind of been like that dark horse wild card tag team that honestly I still feel is, even though Oney Lorcan's not doing bad so far in 205 Live, I feel like them as a tag team is definitely meant for NXT. I don't see Vince giving. I see Vince completely no way Joseing them if he would put them on like Raw or SmackDown. But for like an underrated like dark horse tag team, this was definitely one of their best performances as well. Undisputed Era's Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. All I gotta say is, how the hell is Kyle O'Reilly involved? And the Forgotten Sons. I mean, he's still alive. I'm sorry, not involved. Alive. Forgotten Sons, Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler. Of course, it's taken people a while to really become fans of theirs. I've definitely seen the improvements since the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and in this match as well. Man, did those guys shine as well. This was unbelievable. The star power was not as high, I felt, as last year's ladder match for the North American Championship. This, though, may have been better. This was an unbelievable, brutal, crazy-ass bump of a match. It was just chaos all over the place. From the beginning, I believe it was O'Reilly and Fish who first introduced the ladders, to my favorite part of this match, where this match really, really picked up, was when the Forgotten Sons, Blake and Cutler, set the ladder on their heads, started walking around just taking everyone out like Nikki Cross did in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And of course, obviously, they were kind of here and there, teasing some, interactions with the Forgotten Sons and Lorcan and Birch, because they have been recently feuding. But when they get to Lorcan and Birch, the team obviously who they've been able to overcome, Lorcan and Birch grabs each of them, Cutler and Blake, does a suplex. The ladder goes flying off their heads. I thought it was going to go flying out of the ring, and pretty much almost takes out Kyle O'Reilly. Like, I thought Kyle O'Reilly was going to die in this match because of all. I mean, there was tons of crazy bumps. Like, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, had some crazy, power bombs on the people onto the ladders. I love the spot where Montez Ford showed up. That amazing. Again, if Ricochet was still in NXT and North American champion, I wanted to see a match with Ricochet and Montez Ford for North American Championship. Again, when Montez Ford becomes a single star again someday, he is going to be amazing. Does a freaking jump over Dawkins on top of whoever was sitting on the ladder. And then even after Kyle O'Reilly, once again, Mr. takes a nasty bump by having a ladder flying towards him. Jumps off the top rope, do like a drop kick to Angelo Dawkins. Does that, comes back and lands on top of whichever member of the Forgotten Sons was on the ladder, and just squashes him as well. Somewhat multitasking there. For Kyle O'Reilly. Again, kind of reminded me of when Killian Dames in NXT, and he was multitasking in that first ever War Games match in NXT. There was that bump there. I know Wesley Blake did some type of crazy looking suicide dive as well. There was like two sets of the electric chair stunts performed, I think, by Dawkins and the Street Profits taking out Forgotten Sons. They told us to Era, and then Lorcan and Birch got Forgotten Sons. It was just some amazing back and forth action, crazy bumps. I know there was one point where the Era was climbing up. I can't remember if someone either pushed the ladder off or pushed another ladder into the others, just the way Bobby Fish fell, because I was hold my breath because I know Bobby Fish recently had that knee injury last year. Although told me that he could fall in on that knee pretty badly. It was a really dangerous spot, And then, of course, another spot that I actually really enjoyed in this match, I can talk about this match all night. Jackson Riker, who I'm still not that big of a fan of yet, still came out and he dominated everyone single-handed that ladder. Yes, who is this man, Jackson Riker? I don't know. But on a physical side, he definitely, caught my attention a little bit more. But, of course, all with the exception of Forgotten Sons, of course. The other six members of this match, besides Forgotten Sons, they literally all 6-man teamed up on Jackson Riker just to take him out. They were smashing him on top of the ladder and everything. It was just amazing storytelling and just physical wrestling in general. The bumps, again, I still will not forget, of course, I got mentioned before also, when Riker first came out, they just showed his close-up of Kyle O'Reilly's face. Just priceless. It's got to be a GIF. Like, I hope it's a GIF before very soon. I'm definitely, that's me one I'm going to be sharing a lot probably if I can find it. With the look on his face when Jackson Rager came out. And, of course, the Forgotten Sons, who I honestly, well, of course, I thought the Undisputed Era were going to win this match because I just really thought that, this is going to be a night about, the Era brave themselves in gold and proving who really is the best, truly the best member of Undisputed Era, who really does belong in the Era, since they're teasing kind of a breakup, but doesn't seem like it's going through yet. Who knows? They might throw a curveball on us like they did with the Shield. But I also thought the Forgotten Sons were going to win because their recent, momentum they picked up in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic and whatnot. And, of course, they're kind of seeming the ones to target the War Raiders, backstage and whatnot. But of course, the Street Profits, of course, I always thought the Street Profits were going to be heels by now because, again, of how, the promos they were cutting, how their frustration, how they didn't get past the first round of Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. But the Forgotten Sons about to win. One was knocked off the ladder by Dawkins and speared. The other one, Montez Ford, probably hopped from, the post onto the ladder like it was nothing, knocks the other one off. Montez Ford grabs the tag titles, and the Street Profits are your new NXT Tag Team Champions. Just well-deserved. Just, again, a tag team just with a fun persona immediately. The crowd can easily get behind them. Just two kids, living like a college-style life, basically, with their gimmick, basically. And just long deserved. Again, I felt so bad. Again, one of my least favorite matches I've seen in NXT again was in last year's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, the match they lost to the Authors of Pain, because they literally made Street Profits kind of like a joke in that match, I still thought. And after that, they were just having constant matches with TM61, just not really being used that much at all. And now they're finally being taken seriously right now, and they're the NXT Tag Team Champions. Well-deserved for both Dawkins and Montez Ford, again, for sure. Again, had some of the best spots in this match, for sure. Again, that's still, Kyle O'Reilly was the one who probably is the MVP of this match because the brutality he went through in this match, I got to say. And I still really hope that look on his face when he saw Jackson Rager come out makes a GIF. But that, again, just an amazing match, in my opinion. Hear all that. R-Truth ran in an angry mob for a 24/7 champion. Strange. He also thought that Drew should win Money in the Bank. Interesting. Well, yeah, I guess it would have been okay. Of course, anybody but Brock. Oh boy, we'll see what happens at that on tomorrow. Well, in 22 hours or so, who knows? Because we'll talk about that with my Raw review. Next up, we got the NXT North American Championship match. Velveteen Dream taking on Tyler Breeze, who is officially back full-time in NXT, where he belongs, where he's going to be appreciated and whatnot. And this match was just an amazing character match to show that, Vince, you really missed out on making this guy a huge star. As I've always said, I didn't think Tyler Breeze was ever meant to be a world champion. I thought maybe we could take an upper mid-card, a great intercontinental champion, United States champion, any of those. If you wanted to give when the Fashion Police actually had some momentum going before, again, I'd say I dug the Fashion Files until Battleground 2017, where the case was to be concluded, and it never was. And of course, they'd say, "Oh, we're going to have the Fashion Files next week." They did not appear. They kind of just, weeded out. Other than that, that was the only time I say Tyler Breeze ever felt a little bit relevant on the main roster. But back here in NXT, showing that the guy is still loved. The guy's been way overlooked. He's still appreciated. Just welcome back into NXT with open arms. Two men the Velveteen Dream and Prince Pretty himself, Tyler Breeze, just putting on just an amazing character match. There's, of course, a couple spots where Tyler Breeze was close to winning, when he hit the supermodel kick and whatnot. Of course, there's that spot also when they're on the announce table where Tyler Breeze was down. Velveteen Dream was holding North American title and holding up Breeze's cell phone, saying, "Here, smile for this and whatnot." Just this idea that, hey, I don't like sharing the spotlight. and you may be trying to take your spotlight back that you had once had this coming, but things have changed since you started playing cops and robbers from a cheap dollar store or something like that on Raw and SmackDown, whereas the Velveteen Dream said in that promo they had a couple weeks ago, which was definitely pretty darn awesome. And once again, just a friend of mine from Tyler Breeze. If you leave your phone number on your tights and nobody calls you, that means they're not interested. Pow! But eventually, though, even though Tyler Breeze put on an amazing match, I was kind of, my pick was Velveteen Dream to win, which I think in the end I was 3 for 5 with the show. But I was kind of hoping that maybe we'll give the match back to Tyler. But this was a match that kind of wasn't, I wouldn't say it was quite as good as the match that Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black had. The match that basically Velveteen Dream became a star. This is a match though that Tyler Breeze, reignited his power and reignited his star power and remind that yes, he is as good as he was like 5 years ago, whenever 4 years ago before he came up to the main roster. This is a match that made me want to see guys like Apollo Crews go back to NXT. At this point, EC3 go back to NXT. Dana Brooke, Sanity. People who, again, Dana Brooke, I'm not a big fan, but people who were either called up way too early or being very underappreciated on the main roster. The Ascension 2 should be back in NXT. Next one, Apollo Crews, I'd say of everyone, is probably the number one person I think should go back to NXT right now. Again, he was called up way too early. He should have had at least around the NXT Championship, but I'm glad Tyler Breeze, made the right move. He's back in NXT full time, and I look forward to seeing what else he's going to bring to the table for the Black and Gold brand. Just another match, also, in my opinion, showing why I feel NXT shouldn't even be called the developmental brand anymore. It's its own brand. It's its own show. Vince can't control the people who are on that show right now. And if he got his hands on them, he'd ruin them for sure. Tyler Breeze, though, had probably one of the best matches of his career tonight after being underutilized for 4 years. And, I'm happy for the man. And I'm glad he's going to stay in NXT. And, hopefully he'll put on some great feuds down the line. I don't know who he's going to feud with next, but I can't wait to see it. We then get the NXT Women's Championship match. Shayna Baszler taking on Io Shirai. Another great match. Obviously, Io, this has been built up for months. It's been personal with Io Shirai, tired of, the bullying Shayna Baszler did, especially on her best friend, Kairi Sane. And, of course, recently she's gone as far as her, trying to, attack Shayna at the Performance Center and even with a kendo stick in recent weeks. The random story here, which I'm not sure where this is going, though, is the fact that Candice LeRae was also being there for Io Shirai as well. During this match, Jess Maduka and Marina Shafir tried coming out, but then Candice came out and took them out with a kendo stick. And then Io was getting some good offense and taking some, risky-looking moves, including, of course, towards the end. She tried to do a little bit of a bridge to pin Shayna Baszler. But, even though Io came out aggressive and, just showing a side of her we haven't really seen much of yet, she then eventually gets, because of that near fall and Shayna kicked out, Io does get locked into the Karafuda clutch. She tried to fight out of it for a couple minutes, but then when she's just about to completely pass out, she slowly taps out. She rolls out of the ring, but then Io says, "Hey, you may have beat me, and won the battle, but you're not going to win this war." Io grabs a kendo stick, gets back in, and just starts whipping the crap once again out of Shayna Baszler like she just recently did. So for a moonsault, she had a couple moonsaults before Candice LeRae was still out there. Io asked Candice to hand her a steel chair. And Io Shirai did her moonsault again, her moonsault finisher on Shayna with a chair on her stomach. And she left quite a mark on Shayna's back. And, of course, afterwards, was a little strange afterwards. Io came out. Candice was helping her up the ramp. One shot. Cuts to Shayna for a second. Cuts back to Io. And Candice is gone. I'm like, okay, did Candice, disappear somewhere? Or did they just tell her to get out of the shot or something? But, so, I'm not sure that was just for Io lost. She got the last laugh and giving the full comeuppance on Shayna after everything that Io had done to her and her best friend. Or this is starting to plant the seeds for an Io Shirai heel turn. I'm not sure because I still think, well, even though Johnny's not champion anymore, I really thought again Candice is going to be the one dethroning Shayna Baszler. But is this going to be Io Shirai, just getting another shot at Shayna Baszler with like a stipulation or something like that? I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see again. As I do think, at next takeover, I think it'll either be Candice LeRae or Mia Yim. Or now maybe still Io Shirai, maybe Bianca, who knows? Who knows who's going to be next to challenge Shayna Baszler? But I still think it should be Candice. And of course, we'll see what goes from there. As Shayna Baszler is still your NXT Women's Champion. And then finally, the main event. Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole 2 for the NXT Championship match. This is, of course, the second match they've had, but the first match, I say, it's actually Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole. Because even though he faced Adam Cole at TakeOver New York, Adam Cole was kind of playing the role of, Tommaso Ciampa in that match, I felt. This was Johnny Gargano taking on the legitimate Adam Cole. This match, needless I say, was just, besides was the fact that Johnny Gargano took out a referee by mistake with a slingshot dive he does or whatnot. This match kind of had the same feel. I don't know if it was as good, but to me it felt like a match like Undertaker and Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 25. It was a singles match that you weren't really allowed to use weapons or whatnot. It was a simple one-on-one wrestling match in which these two literally beat the hell out of each other. Johnny Gargano took how many nasty bumps in this match, including one where I don't know if this was a botch or not. He goes to do like a slingshot, like suicide dive onto Adam Cole. I don't know if he had to hold himself up for Adam Cole to get in that super kick. Like, I still say my favorite super kick from Adam Cole was still the one he hit on Ricochet at TakeOver Brooklyn last year. Whenever he super kicked Ricochet, who was on upside down trying to do a flip in the air. He super kicks right in the head. But Johnny Gargano literally goes like a suicide dive. Adam Cole hits a super kick on him. And it looks like Johnny may have, tripped on the ropes. And Johnny also has been dealing with a knee injury apparently also. So Adam Cole did work well on the knee and whatnot, trying to soften Johnny up, but it wasn't enough to keep him down. He took a last shot. He kicked out. He took how many hurricanranas or last calls, whatever they're called, onto the floor outside of the ring. And it still could not keep Johnny down for a 3 count all. He even tried using Gargano's finisher, the Gargano escape. It was not working. It was literally, once again, as I've been mentioning in my retro views, Sami Zayn being that babyface. You literally have to beat every ounce of breath in him to beat him. That's what happened here with Johnny Gargano. Looking one of the strongest in his losses yet, of course. Well, I still say his matches with Tommaso Ciampa are still his best matches, but this was amazing. This was still an amazing match again. Just a singles match that you didn't need weapons, even though towards the end of the match, Adam Cole obviously starting to get frustrated. He brought out a chair. The referee's trying to get him to stop. This is where Johnny does his little dive and accidentally takes out the referee. Adam Cole is sitting in the ring, waving obviously to call out his brothers for the Undisputed Era. They weren't coming out. Johnny's holding a chair before he gets back into the ring, trying to get Adam Cole pinned. But of course he did, but the referee wasn't there to see it. The referee was going to eventually get back in, and then Johnny tried to go at him in for a Gargano escape, but instead he was able to reverse it, get Johnny down, hit the last shot on Johnny, and Adam Cole, baby, is your new NXT champion. Again, you could argue, this also felt like, the match with Almas and Gargano with not as much, not more people involved in the drama. But again, it was a basic, I should say basic, but it was just a one-on-one singles match, no stipulations, where the guys literally just wrestled, beat the hell out of each other. And obviously, again, a guy it made Johnny Gargano look like he had 9 lives or something here. Because it took a lot. for Adam Cole to keep him down. It took a lot for Johnny Gargano to try to keep Adam Cole down. And yes, I know I wanted Johnny to retain this time because I hate how Johnny's title reigns have all been very short. But, Adam Cole deserves this too. The second Grand Slam champion for the men in NXT history, even though he didn't really technically have the tag title, he just wrestled in the match that involved the tag titles whenever Roderick Strong was turned on Pete Dunne to join the era. But Cole had to wrestle because full double duty that night because Bobby Fish just got injured. But Adam Cole again just done everything. He just shows why he's definitely one of the best superstars in the industry before he came to NXT. Like after tonight, I actually don't want to see Undisputed Era go to the main rosters. I know the WWE would ruin them. Honestly, when they're done with NXT, they should just go run to AEW. Like they just go to AEW because if you go to Raw or SmackDown at this point, they're not going to be treated right at all. And I'll gladly go watch them in AEW when the show starts. Feud with Moxley, feud with Jericho, feud with Omega. Like Cole versus any of those guys would be amazing because they're in the right brand. Adam Cole and Cody Rhodes or Cry Out Loud would be amazing. Young Bucks versus Fish and O'Reilly, or Roderick Strong could get some feud to there as well. But yeah, even though of course Johnny Gargano has yet another short time. Well, then again, he has a little bit of knee injury still right now, so it might be why. Because I think he's going to take a brief break and whatnot to get that knee fixed up and whatnot. From what I'm hearing, it's strange to also see that just Adam Cole win and the Undisputed Era. I think they're all okay, and everybody else lost except for Cole. So I don't know what's next for the Era themselves, but again, Adam Cole still deserved this. Definitely, I feel. Maybe Cole's best singles match is joining NXT. Either this one or the match he had with Ricochet last year. One of those two is still Adam Cole's best match for sure in NXT. And he's our new NXT champion. And with that, guys, that is my live review for NXT TakeOver 25 2019. Again, as I said at the beginning of this review, again, as I don't want to spoil too much when I talk about TakeOver Respect, hopefully before I go to bed. With me to seem like how before NXT TakeOver called NXT TakeOver Respect or TakeOver Unstoppable or TakeOver Our Revolution, and how the show played into that theme. This show was amazing. Like but again, with it being like an anniversary show, it could have had like one more small thing I felt to make this like a legitimate anniversary show. So I couldn't quite give this one an A+, but I still gave this show a spectacular A. Just an amazing show. All matches were spectacular, especially, again, my two favorite matches of the show for sure was the tag title ladder match and the NXT Championship match. I mean, the women's match, probably the weakest, still an amazing match. Tyler Breeze and Velveteen Dream, still an awesome match. Matt Riddle and Roderick Strong, a hidden gem. A hidden gem for sure, because that match is even better than I expected that would be. I thought it was going to be a great match, but I didn't think it was going to be amazing. And that one knocked it out of the park as well. Let's check the live chat we got here. Yep, says SmackDown, said those. Bitch, take the wild card role in the XFL. Yeah, go to the XFL, don't come back. Yes, Randy should go on the Raw. Brock should lose his cash in, even though, once again, it's going to be a lose-lose situation in general. He better not cash in on Kofi. Raw's going to suck for sure. What's up, Robbie? Saying, no, we need a Street Fighter no-holds-barred match after Io once again beat down Shannon with that kendo stick, which I'd be fine with that for sure. The Era lost 2 out of the 3 of their matches, which is ironic since Cole lost the 2 out of 3 falls in New York, which is true. But in the end, Adam Cole was the new NXT champion, and that is undisputed. He got 3 out of 5 correct for him. Same here. And I think their final match may be at TakeOver Toronto in August, and the loser leaves NXT match. Are you talking about Adam Cole or Johnny Gargano? Which one are you talking about there, Robbie? But either way, or lose NXT match. Of course, we haven't seen that since Cassius Ohno and Elias, believe it or not. 9 lives like a cat, and Ray should stay on SmackDown, and Miz and Joe as well. But yeah, guys, again, I apologize if this was late. Again, I had to work, and then I had a bunch of things going on. Even that freaking rain overnight canceled my softball game again. Still haven't played a single game yet this year, guys. I want to play ball. I want to be a hero. Colin Gargano loser leaves NXT. If Gargano, of course, his knee is healthy by then. Again, because I heard he has been dealing with a nagging knee injury. He's going to kind of get fixed up. So take maybe a little bit of a break. So maybe why he dropped the title. But once again, Adam Cole still deserves it. But yeah, guys, thank you to Robbie and Tyler for joining me in the live chat. Again, I just have one more match to watch and TakeOver Respect, and I want to get my TakeOver Respect retro view in before I go to bed tonight as well. Gonna have my next Harry Potter Let's Play video just about ready to upload as well, so I'll probably get those 2 videos up here before today ends. Also, guys, make sure to check out my Stomping Stomping Grounds or Stupid Grounds match card upload as well. Check out that as well. And as always, guys, make sure to slap a like on my videos and start content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, man3. Also, check out my WrestleMania Experience documentary. You can find it in the description box down below as well. And leave your comments as well on what you thought of NXT TakeOver 25. Again, I gave it a strong A. What grade would you guys give it? So yeah, thank you once again, guys. I'll be back up here in a little bit to review NXT TakeOver Respect. So until then, guys, I'll see you guys all then. And get on the button, sweetness. So guys, peace out, everybody.